You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's shameful.
Why would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting this scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that...
You're about to watch one of the most revealing defenses of Prince Andrew ever aired on live television. Not because it's convincing, but because of what it exposes. Watch closely how denial shifts into distortion and how pressure turns certainty into collapse. Let's walk through this carefully. Before this point, Lady Victoria Harvey claims the infamous photograph involving Prince Andrew is fake, suggesting shadowy motives and conspiracies. Piers Morgan challenges her using documented emails and sworn testimony, establishing that the image was real and known to those involved.
You're talking about other people talking about me. We're talking about the Epstein file dump that came on Friday.
But exactly. So you've come to my very point when I said if you're not mentioned, you're a loser, because people that are mentioned in it might not have even had affiliation with Jeffrey Epstein. They might never have met him. But the fact is they were mentioned possibly in an email that was sent to him. Hence, they ended up in the Epstein files. Do you get it now?
Well, I don't quite get the point you're making, but in relation to being a loser if you're not in them, do you understand how crass and stupid that looks to people when you say that?
It basically was meant as if you are a mover, if you were like a mover and a shaker in the like high echelons of society internationally, you were in those files. Hence, everybody from Ben Affleck to Matt Damon to Elton John to Meryl Streep, everybody is in those files.
This is a subtle pivot. Instead of disputing facts, she reframes relevance itself a common tactic when evidence becomes inconvenient.
Lady Victoria Harvey, I mean, you've been very steadfast in your support of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, but given what you've now...
That's quite a long name, isn't it?
Reading... Well, you know, he had all his titles stripped quite rightly,
but still got
given
his
what
name.
you've now... Yeah. Right, but given what you've now seen about what he was up to...
So let me just give you an update. Let me just give you an update. So as of within the last 24 hours, the FBI did a statement and they said, with all the information that they have seen, all the millions of files, everything, they have come to a conclusion that this was not a sex trafficking ring.
Well, where's that statement?
Let that sink in. It's all over. I sent the link to your producers this morning. So
no one's been able to find that statement. So you're talking about a statement. Nobody has seen this statement.
Notice the claim being made here. A sweeping conclusion is asserted, but no document, no statement, and no verification is produced.
The FBI has said, and I will send it to your people afterwards, that it was not. So exactly what I told you in 2019, I said, Piers, these girls were not trafficked. And that word was too strong a word. Anyway, the FBI have recently said this in the last 24 hours. It was not a sex trafficking operation. Yes.
Well, let me bring Spencer Cooven. Let me bring Spencer Cooven back on that, because you'll know better than anybody.
It's out there, and I will.
Spencer Cooven, apparently, none of this involves sex trafficking. Spencer Cooven.
There might have been girls that were abused. That is not the wording, but it was not a. It was not a sex trafficking ring.
Thank you for acknowledging that, Ms. Harvey.
So yeah. I just want to get the right information out there, because there's a lot of disinformation.
Well, yeah, and most of it appears to be coming out of your mouth.
This is where lived testimony and legal reality collide with speculation. One side references convictions, the other references belief.
I think at the end of the day, what we need to remember is
you're making money from this.
We have nearly hundreds of young girls under the age of 18 that were sexually abused and trafficked
because you are making money from this.
By Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Don't forget that we have one woman who's sitting in jail, convicted.
How much money did you make from this?
Convicted of sex trafficking.
See.
And at the end of the day, I think the problem we have is that we're giving voice to people like Miss Harvey.
I'm not Miss Harvey, I'm Lady Victoria, actually.
Oh, okay, Miss Harvey. For 20 years, people have been fighting, these young girls have been fighting to be heard,
Really?
fighting to make sure the world knows what happened to them,
So
fighting
how
for
much
the truth
money
to come
have
out.
you made from this?
And finally, the U.S. government is starting to release the documents that verify what these girls have been saying all along.
The FBI just verified it's not a sex trafficking ring. Okay?
Okay, is this the same FBI that apparently is hiding additional documents and deleting names that are in those
I
documents?
don't
Is it
know,
the same
but that's
FBI that
that's
we're talking
what's
about?
happening. So
Yeah,
it's out there.
unfortunately, we
Even
don't-
ABC News, which is not always the most reliable.
Victoria, here's what I just find completely baffling. That even with this unbelievable
they also
document
spoke about
No, hang on,
Virginia, how Virginia lied.
Let me
No,
finish,
this is
please.
huge.
Let me finish, please.
Yeah.
Let me finish. Even notwithstanding a 3 million document dump of files, which reveal the most horrific stuff
Which
going
you're
on
in and I'm in.
with
Yeah.
Epstein, with Ghislaine Maxwell, with others, you still just want to pretend there's nothing to see here. Why?
At this stage, the argument isn't advancing. It's expanding outward intelligence agencies, media bias, vague conspiracies, anything but the core facts.
I'm not pretending there's nothing to see here. I'm just stating what the FBI have come to the conclusion it was not a sex trafficking
Well,
ring.
nobody's seen that.
Which means Ghislaine is in jail for not trafficking to anybody. So she should be released right
She
away.
was found guilty.
But there were no clients. There
She's
was no
serving
client list, Piers. You're not understanding it. I like you a
You're
lot.
not
I think you're a
understanding
very
she
good
was convicted
presenter.
and sent to prison.
I know it's very frustrating
doesn't
for
get
people
it.
like you because it's just like the media has built it up into this huge thing. Yes, obviously Jeffrey Epstein was a spy. Like that is true. Like he was working for various different intelligences. We know that. But the fact is he was not lending out the girls to his friends.
He was.
Really?
We know that he was.
Everybody
We've
knows
seen
he
And
was.
sir,
We've
I
seen
don't
it
know
in the
what your name
documents.
is, the lawyer, but you obviously made a lot of money from this. Can you tell us what you made from this?
Can you tell us what you've done with Mr. Andrew? Can you tell us about your relationship with him and what he's told
I
you?
haven't seen
Why
him
don't
in
you
many
talk to
years.
us about what he's admitted to
I'm
you?
defending him because I know he is not guilty.
And you know this because he told you
how do
this
you know
and he
that?
talked to you about it?
I know. I've been very good so far. I was right about COVID. I was right about the vaccines. I was right about BLM. I'm right about this.
Pay attention here. Certainty is now being asserted not through evidence, but through personal confidence. That distinction matters.
All right, Katie Nichol, let me bring you back in here.
He should absolutely be doing that. And I'm quite astonished by some of the things that Lady Victoria has said on air. I have to say, I think all of our feelings and empathy need to be with those girls. When you hear how young they were, it's truly terrible.
Yeah, I'm
Piers,
afraid Victoria
I
is...
just thought of something else I would just like to put out there because, being in my position, I have been in a position where I have been able to be vocal, and that means that I've had a lot of people reaching out to me with information. A couple of months ago, I had a British girl reach out to me, and she said that her and her friend met Jeffrey Epstein in Virginia the weekend of March 10th, 2001, at the Dorchester Hotel. Virginia lured them to Jeffrey's hotel. She made the girls lie and say that they were 18 years old. One was 13, one was 14. They actually signed NDAs with Virginia, and David Boies paid them off. Now, they're too scared to come out.
Well, unless you've got evidence for any of that, I'm not going to just allow you to spew any cock and bull conspiracy theory that has come to your mind.
Once David Boies, it might take to the point where he passes away, and then I feel like the floodgates will open, and all
Well, you know
these
what?
people,
David Boies might well sue you. David Boies might well sue you over what you've just said.
Well,
it's a
these
very
girls
serious
are in
defamation.
touch.
This is the turning point. Unverified accusations cross into public smearing and journalistic tolerance ends.
But
Do you know what, Victoria? With the greatest respect, I think you talk utter shit.
all right.
And I'm sorry. I've known you a long time. I think you've disappeared down a conspiracy rabbit hole that is frankly repulsive.
I've always been right about my conspiracies. You were wrong about COVID and you were wrong about the vaccine.
You don't give a damn about these girls. You don't give a damn about these victims. You think it's fine to smear all of them. You admit it. You proudly admit it. And I think it's
Why
shameful.
would I feel sorry for people that are liars?
We now know from these documents just how disgusting this scandal is, and yet still you come on shows like this and you're still in total denial for reasons that completely baffle me.
Can we talk about the quality of girls? So Anushka DeGiorgio as an example. You know what she did? Like, this is the caliber of person we're talking about. Anushka DeGiorgio...
Actually, I'm not going to let you smear them. I'm sorry.
She was the girl that set up Tom Parker
No, I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
sorry,
she
cut
did
it,
it.
Mike.
She did that one story.
I'm not letting you do it. I'm not letting you smear these victims anymore. I'm just not going to let you do it. Just cut her off. Ollie Dugmore, this is an extraordinary scandal in so many ways. But, I mean, in your lifetime, have you ever seen... I agree with you.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was going to bring Spencer in here because also these aren't, in many cases, these victims aren't women. They're girls. They're young girls. I've got a 14-year-old daughter. These are young girls, right? Who were being passed around these rich, powerful, famous predators to use and abuse. That is what is crystal clear now from these files as more and more come out. And this is just the stuff they've shown us. We don't even know what's in the other 3 million. I mean, God knows what's in there. But it's horrific. And yet there is a lot of accountability going on in the UK. But as I said to Rokana earlier, there seems to be no accountability going on in the United States. Why do you think that is?
It's despicable. It's just very frustrating. It's a different take on society because we've become so hyper-politicized here in the States between the Republicans and the Democrats, and you've got to pick a team and then just defend your team regardless of what the facts show, that nobody wants to accept reality, and history will ultimately be the judge. You know, I am very comfortable sitting in the place I am because of 20 years ago, the work I did on these cases. I can look back on that and feel proud about the advocacy I did on behalf of these young girls. I don't think that that will be the same for some of the politicians and very wealthy people that are in these files now, or even the people defending them, like Lady Harvey. I think that history will look and judge them very poorly looking back on this.
There's something important about what we just watched. When conspiracy fails, when denial fails, and when invented authority fails, the final move is often to attack the victims themselves. At that point, this stops being a debate. It becomes a test of responsibility. What's your take? Was this exposure or delusion playing out in real time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you value clear, evidence-based breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned.